What's up, guys? My name is NinjaStrixer. You can call me Striker for short. Today I was thinking about the first season of a TV series I recently watched titled Sherlock, starring Benedict Cumberbatch. And it got me thinking about a strange mystery I had read not too many years ago. The strange case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And that got me thinking, I wonder if this version of Sherlock and Watson could catch them. As in, if Sherlock and Watson only used the skill sets they possess in Season 1, and the only crimes committed by Jekyll and Hyde are from the book, would it be possible? And, of course, I went down the rabbit hole, because I'm me, and when me thinks, I gotta start thinking too. But, just in case you aren't familiar with these characters, let me give you the rundown. Sherlock Holmes is an infamous detective, known for his almost unrivaled intellect and observation skills. He lives for one thing: solving impossible mysteries, because he hates being bored. However, he doesn't work alone. His partner, John Watson, assists him in the majority of his investigations. Watson is a retired war veteran with a bad leg and a bad attitude. He has a lot of character depth, and he's a great shot. Their opponent is Dr. Henry Jekyll. Jekyll is a bit of a mad genius and can be quite deceptive as well. But you may have noticed that I use the word opponent and not opponents plural, and some of you are probably thinking, what happened to Hyde? Well, the answer to that question is a bit weird, so please try to bear with me just a bit more than you already are. Mr. Edward Hyde and Jekyll are the same person. Essentially, Dr. Jekyll concocted a sort of potion that was intended to separate the good version of himself from the evil version, but instead it just amplified all of his negative qualities. He literally embodies the duality of man. So he has dissociative identity disorder. So what? Well, when he switches personalities, he also changes physically. He appears younger, shorter, and deformed. Additionally, Jekyll loses all control whenever Hyde takes over, and Hyde has an irresistible compulsion to commit unspeakable violence. Like, this guy stomps children into the concrete. He's a bad dude. Sherlock and Watson will have their work cut out for them. So, what are the rules for this matchup? They'll have to be a bit different, because it's not like this is a versus debate where everyone is going to start fighting each other like it's a Super Smash Bros. Tournament or some crap. I believe that the best way to determine who would win in this scenario is to create stats for both sides in a very, very totally unbiased way that has nothing to do with my subjective opinion, and so you should all just trust my judgment, obviously. Here are the rules. Each stat will be rated on a scale from 1 to 20. The team with the collectively higher stat gets a point. There will be an odd number of stats, and the team with the most points win. So, how many stats should we have, and what will they be? Well, before I tell you that, I'd like to ask you something. Would you mind subscribing and maybe poking at that like button? It's a free way to help support the video as well as the channel. It's the only way I can keep creating videos like this one. And if you really want to help, you could smash that hype button. It's another free way to help push smart creators like me to 100,000 subscribers. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. Now, back to the stats. Each stat will be representative of a character's capacity to outperform other characters. As in, if we're measuring IQ, it'll be that character's intelligence in comparison to the others, not just generally. So, speaking of IQ, we'll start with that, and we'll start with Sherlock. He's obviously a 20. This guy is like mega brain genius. I mean, he's often referred to as the greatest detective in the world, and kind of doesn't really conform to anyone else's rules, so this just led him to become highly, highly intelligent. And I put Watson at like a 6. He's clever, for sure, but in comparison to Sherlock, it is not close. I would also put Jekyll at like a 20 in terms of his overall intelligence, because this guy literally figured out how to mutate people's bodies in real time. Like this is genetic alteration that he can do physically in like a matter of like minutes. Now, Hyde is probably a 6. I tie him with Watson. I'd say overall, IQ is going to be a draw, because I think that it's all dependent on who's in control of what and who finds what, which leads us into the stat perception. I'd give Sherlock a 20 at this as well. This guy's observation is ridiculously powerful. Like, he can notice like 20 things about a person in less than a second that most people wouldn't have even noticed one. So Watson be like a 7. He has learned a great deal from Sherlock in just the course of the first season, which makes him very naturally observant, but I would not put him anywhere close in comparison. Jekyll is probably like a 4. It's just because Jekyll is much more intelligent than he is perceptive. His capacity to use the knowledge he's acquired and the amount of knowledge he's acquired is greater than his ability to acquire in the first place. And Hyde is probably like a 5, honestly. He is not very perceptive. Generally, he ignores people throughout the book. Doesn't pay them any mind. Now, in case there's any physical altercation, which in these sorts of scenarios there usually are, in these kinds of stories, it's good to measure strength. I put Sherlock at a 7. His intellect does help him a lot in any hand-to-hand fights he gets in, but he's overall not really a fighter. I'd actually give that to Watson. I put Watson at like a 9, because since he's a war veteran, he's used to like melee combat, but also, like I said before, he's really good with guns. So I think in any physical altercation, he's probably going to be carrying a gun, and I think that will help him win most scenarios. Jekyll's like a 3. This is because I'm kind of addicted to that potion we talked about, and this has led to him becoming physically weaker over the course of time. So he's kind of pathetic, honestly. He's not going to win any physical exchange. Hyde is like a 10. Hyde is certainly a 10. He is very dangerous, and he is ruthless. He will not hesitate to kill people. I don't think Watson would either. I just think that there's a moral limitations that Watson assigns to himself that Hyde doesn't, which is why I put him above him. So overall, perception goes to Team Sherlock, and so does strength, which is quite surprising. I think what is stopping Team Jekyll from winning strength is just Jekyll himself being pathetic and Hyde being the strong one. Now, in speed, their ability to move from place to place, how quick they are, Sherlock is a 6, Watson is a 6. Now, remember how I said Watson has a bad leg? Apparently that's all in his head. It's something psychological, I think. He actually can run just fine. So that's a little weird. So I'd say they're both above average, but I think this is where we give Jekyll a 3 again, because he is so physically weak. Hyde is an 8, for sure. He is very fast when he wants to be. He usually likes to take his time, but when he wants to move quick, those short little legs can move. So we'll give speed to Team Sherlock again. Now, here's where things can get interesting, because we've reached stealth. Sherlock is an 8. He can sneak up on people. Watson's probably a 4. Not very stealthy, neither is Jekyll. They're like a 4. Hyde is a 12. Because while he usually likes to just approach people while they're paying attention, when he wants to be quiet, he can go dead silent. You'll never know he's there. So I'll give stealth to Team Jekyll. Deception, Sherlock is like a 2. It's because he has like 0% capacity to socialize. This guy sucks. He's so, like, his social skills are worse than mine. Not saying something. Watson's probably a 6 in comparison to the other character's capacity to determine if he's lying or if he's up to something. Like, he has like average deception, but the others are all very clever. Jekyll's probably a 4. It's because he lies people on a day-to-day basis, but everybody knows that something's up. Like, even the regular civilians can tell that there's something wrong with this guy. Hyde is an 11, because, I mean, this dude, like, walks directly up to people, and they can't even tell it's Jekyll. I think that's pretty impressive. And so our top 2 in deception are Watson and Hyde, which seems pretty surprising, but when you think about it, Watson is so good at deceiving people, he deceived himself into believing that his leg doesn't work. I mean, that's kind of impressive. And once more, Hyde he's a trickster. Now, resources, what the characters will have available to them. Other side characters who can usually come to their aid, or the amount of money that they have, or transportation, or just anything that they can use generally. Sherlock is an 8, because he knows a lot of people, he has a lot of connections. Watson kind of severed a lot of connections at the beginning of the show, kind of in his backstory, so he's like a 4. Jekyll's a 14. This guy is rich. Like, he has so much money. There's a lot of things. Hyde is like a 7, and this is because, although him and Jekyll are the same person, he's very paranoid that people will find out that he's Jekyll. And then, you know, boom, no more dark sides, so he wouldn't be very happy with that. So he tends to be very cautious when making use of Jekyll's resources. So that's why it happened. So resources goes to Team Jekyll. Wisdom is pretty interesting, because it's not the amount of knowledge you have, or your ability to acquire knowledge, it's how well can you use the knowledge that you have. Sherlock is a 9. He knows what he can do with this stuff, it's just not near as high as his IQ or perception. Watson is also a 9, because the little things that he does pick up from Sherlock, he uses very effectively. Jekyll's probably a 5, because, like, which I would say is pretty average, because this guy created a potion that, you know, is supposed to separate his positive side from his negative side, and he tested it on himself. I mean, that doesn't sound too wise to me. You think you'd get, like, somebody else. You know, I'm just saying. Hyde is like a 2. This guy doesn't ever think anything through. Like, he's clever, sure, but that's because he is a very quick thinker. Like, generally, I don't think it's very wise to just go out and kill people, like, in front of other people, and then just walk off and expect to not go to prison. Now, stamina is an interesting one, and I think that, given that we're giving Team Sherlock wisdom, it's starting to lean in their favor. So stamina will determine the overall outcome. How long can these characters do what they do? Sherlock is an 8. It's because, although his physical state isn't perfect, he is very obsessive. When he gets into a case that he finds really interesting, which he would be very interested in, Jekyll and Hyde case, he does not stop thinking about it. He does not stop working. It's all he wants to do. Anything to not be bored. He's an 8 for sure. Watson's a 6. He's very loyal. He's very devoted. So that would put him above average. Jekyll is like a 2 because he's so weak and pathetic. Like I said, just physically. Like, he just can't do anything anymore. He's almost entirely run by Hyde. I give Hyde a 7. Kind of put him in between Sherlock and Watson. So overall, stamina goes to Team Sherlock, which is the winner. Team Sherlock with the score of 6 against Team Jekyll with a score of 4. So I would say that was a lot closer than I thought it would be. And if you guys like videos like this one, I'd go down in the comments and talk about what I should cover next. I do recommend you watch at least the first season of Sherlock. It is really interesting. And read Jekyll and Hyde. It is classic for a reason. Oh, also, sorry for my trash gameplay. It's a journey, you know. Every one of these videos will cover a new piece of fiction, talk about a few different things. Hopefully my editing and my video and audio quality improve, and I'm gonna be trying to get better at the game. I'm actually gonna get a sword PvP coach. So if you guys know anybody good, let me know down in the comments. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe.